Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is me. I was playing as Lenorm's champion. It was an Australian tournament, so we were just having some fun. So I am playing as Kislev versus Alea Yakta Est's Khorne. And this is just after the patch 2.2 update, which gave the Khorne Minotaurs and their more high-tier units some much-needed love. I'm trying to play Kislev into them. And you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the cavalry that everyone says is so great, and I hate it. Griffin Legion, and some Winged Lancers. So, for the Kislev build, we have 1 Winged Lancers, 2 Griffin Legions, 4 Kossovite Dervishes, then we have Boris Ursus, a Patriarch, a Frostmaiden of Ice with Heart of Winter, triple Kossars, and quadruple Armored Kossars. The main idea of this was to overwhelm the mobile game, either deal with all of Khorne's dogs or run down Khorne's skirmish cav, and then all of their infantry would be forced to deal with the Frostmaiden's Heart of Winter and Boris Ursus's Shardblade, so I could just Mortis Engine them all down and kill them. That was roughly the idea of this build. My opponent Alea did not like that idea, instead went with Chaos Warhounds, Flesh Hounds, 2 Minotaurs of Khorne with great weapons, more Hounds, and we have the Knights of the Brazen Throne, Valkia, and a front line of Chaos Warriors of Khorne. So huzzah, hooray. My cavalry decided they really don't want to take a fight with the Minotaurs of Khorne at all, so they're going to run away. Even though they would beat the dogs, they would lose to the Minotaurs in the end. Kossovite Dervishes are eventually going to take the fight with the Flesh Hounds because I realize I'm not really getting anywhere, so I need to do something. I'm going to pin them in place next to my pistol and bow infantry, and I'm going to start shooting them, and then I'll wrap around with the Griffin Legion and Kossovite Dervishes over here and make a big old pile out of it. On the other side, Khorne is considering what to do because I haven't taken this engagement because I really don't want 2 engagements at once. I'm also sending a mage over there, and I want Boris Ursus to start fighting with Valkia. So I see multiple instances where I could get some good trades over here. We have a Flesh Hound almost to that crumbling phase. We already got a Chaos Warhound out of here. Dervish loses the plot a little bit. I was busy elsewhere, unfortunately, and Kossovite Dervishes do have to take another charge against the Minotaurs of Khorne. I'm going to try and get the same thing going over here, but instead of opting for the fight like Alea did on the other side, Alea just sprints straight past and is going to get onto my archers. So that is definitely the correct play from them. And also I got busy over here, so I dropped micro on 3 of my cav that just sit by and watch everyone die. Also, the Khorne Minotaurs straight up killed a Kossovite Dervish. Straight up killed them. They can't shatter. They were unbreakable in that much time. That's buffs, ladies and gentlemen. Those are good buffs. We like that. We like Minotaurs actually being good. So far. I mean, like, I'm sure if they're still insanely broken in 9 months, we'll have a problem. But for now, I think they're fun. They're very expensive, so... They're expensive, they're fragile, but man, they can delete stuff when they hit it. Anyway, frontline fight's not going super great for me, and the Knights of the Brazen Throne are even plowing through the middle. I've had some poor decisions with my cavalry. Kossovite Dervishes chasing off dogs was definitely not worth my time at all. We have Winged Lancers and Dervishes trying to fight these Minotaurs of Khorne with no arrow support this time. You see, it went much better on the other side with the arrow support, but even then, we still lost, so Minotaurs of Khorne maybe shouldn't have just fought them with cavalry at all. Whoopsies! Also, what's unfortunate, not unfortunate, but like a mistake from the Kislev player, me, is I have Heart of Winter to punish blobs. Cool. And then I had my front line very spread out. Also cool. What's not cool is doing that when I wanted to form a goddamn blob, so I have nothing to Heart of Winter, because I'm an idiot. Maybe I could have Heart of Wintered that, but it's still not great, and she's on the wrong side of the formation because I was trying to help with the mobile fight. Alea is doing great cycle charging me. Really shut down a lot of my archers, shut down my cav pressure, even though I outnumbered him. Now I am getting a good trade from the Griffin Legion onto the Flesh Hounds, but there are Minotaurs that just finished off with some of my friends, and now I have no friends protecting me, and I'm going to die. Die a horrific death. Boris Ursus is chasing Valkyrie around the map, really trying to lock her down. The balance of power slightly favoring Khorne. We all know the balance of power just hates Khorne, so actually this should be that Khorne is destroying me, because, you know, he's doing really, really good. Minotaur's going to pile into the Kossars, trucking them down. Yeah, so for units left, I have my Hero Corps. They're doing fine, and I have 1 healthy Kossovite Dervish, half health Griffin Legion. Everything else is mostly dead. For Khorne, they have a crap ton of Chaos Warriors, which I'm fine with. It's these Minotaurs and Skull Crushers that are my problem. Literally, all of these Chaos Warriors don't matter. I can kill them with, like, 2 Hearts of Winter in the late game, or Boris can just grind through them. It's not an issue at all. Catch some of these Minotaurs. Their leadership is getting real low. They still have 9 models, so they're dangerous. I sick Kossovite Dervishes onto them, and I'm trying to break them with Boris here. But I don't quite manage to break them. And then Boris loses the plot because I told him to attack Valkia and she took off. And he's a ground unit, so he doesn't know what to do after that, which is fine. Griffin Legion could not get away from the Minotaurs of Khorne. They ran them down. And rest in peace. But we did get rid of 1 Minotaur of Khorne group. Great. We're very far behind in the balance of power. A little bit of fast forwarding as we do some Benny Hilling. Chaos Warriors are slowly going to march into my armored Kossars and basic Kossars. We do finally get off a Heart of Winter, and it is going to hit 3 Chaos Warriors of Khorne. This is exactly what we were waiting for. Really can thin them out in the late game. Boris is trying to chase Valkia down, but she does manage to just get into this guy, which is a big sad, because I need to snipe her out. Big thing I can do is try and get the Minotaur's leadership down, snipe out Valkia, and then Heart of Winter all the infantry support, and eventually Boris should be able to kill all these things. So Valkia is trying to snipe out my mage, because he recognizes that as long as I can cast Heart of Winter, his infantry advantage doesn't matter, and I put Boris straight onto the task of fighting Valkia. But she has a demon shield. She is invincible! And if you're playing with Valkia, this is a good thing to do. Time a lot of your charges in with the demon shield so you can get a favorable trade out of it, even if you are outmatched by someone in a dueling capacity. So, very nice stuff there. Boris' Shardblade is doing a ton of work onto these Minotaurs and Skull Crushers, who are all clumped up, and Classified Dervishes are just trying to keep Valkia on the ground, and now are moving on to chase off Chaos Warriors. We can see a couple models are stopping her from taking off. And Boris is unfortunately not in a great space to try and chase Valkia anywhere. Balance Power comes right back towards Kislev as a huge Shardblade and a Heart of Winter have really evened the odds. Now we're down to just a Dervish, a Hero Core versus tattered remains of Khorne forces. Skull Crushers of Valkia gonna make these armored Kossars dead. And what's that? Another Heart of Winter! Fuck you, Chaos Warriors of Khorne! This was the original plan. Just, this plan was the late game would look like this, and I would Heart of Winter them all, and these and these wouldn't exist. So things didn't go quite according to plan. But, do kill off another Chaos Warrior unit, the other one is down to half health, and with some rear charges, we might be able to get them a routing. Minotaurs are back in. Valkia is chasing some stuff around. Sword of Khorne kills off some randoms. And I start using my Classified Dervishes to just bait the Knights of the Brazen Throne, because the Knights of the Brazen Throne are just stopping me from rear charging the Minotaurs and lowering their leadership. And my Classified Dervishes didn't actually want to do that. They just wanted to make sure the Knights of the Brazen Throne didn't dive in. So that's what we were attempting. Now I have run out of time to bait them. They are no longer taking the bait, and they will just charge the Patriarch, do a shit ton of damage to him, and pop the Demon Shield yet again. Classified Dervishes now trying to bait the Minotaurs, just being like, look at me, yay, follow me away from the fight, no, leave Valkia all alone. And it kind of works for a second, but now the Minotaurs figure out what they're doing. Alea is no chump, Alea is no fool, and he's back after me. But we need to stop Valkia, or do we? Guess not. I think Boris was trying to hit her, but he couldn't quite do it. Now the Dervishes get actually caught by the Skull Crushers, and they will die swiftly. Minotaurs are also going to charge out, charge in, charge out. Very good cycle charging from my opponent. Valkia does chase the Patriarch, gets good hit on him, and then Boris hits her. So her speed's only 67, his speed is 82. He should be able to keep up with her at this point. But he does the stupid Warhammer 3 thing, where he just walks alongside his enemy instead of actually attacking her. They all do it. I don't know why they do it, but they do it, where they just walk like next to you, not following you directly or getting any hits in. So then he gets peeled off by the Knights of the Brazen Throne, and Valkia is able to walk away to safety. I throw out another Heart of Winter. This one was more to free Boris Ursus than it was to really catch anything. Could have waited for those Chaos Warriors, but I'm not too worried about them at this point. I just didn't want Boris to be surrounded like that with none of his buffs up, so we're buying a little bit of time. He's now attacking them on the way out. Valkia chases down the Patriarch, and we are down to the very finals, ladies and gentlemen. Minotaurs of Khorne are pushed off. Boris Ursus is rampaging, trying to hit Valkia, but he just really can't. Knights of the Brazen Throne are back in. Valkia is back in. Balance of Power is dead even, but there's no more healing. There's no more magic. There's nothing left. And slowly but surely, the Ice Witch is going to get killed. Knights of the Brazen Throne rout. Boris is clubbing the crap out of the Minotaurs. We are falling a little bit far behind on the balance of power, trying to hit Valkia when she lands, but we cannot get any good hits in onto her. Boris is rampaging once again. His Fire Blood has not been popped. Hers has, so she will probably rout any second now. Boo! And Boris is alone, fighting the hordes of Khorne, but it came down to the very edge. If I had been able to snipe out Valkia there, maybe could have, actually definitely could have taken a victory if I'd been able to snipe her there entirely. I don't know if I would have been able to kill her straight up, but it would have been pretty close if Boris hadn't T-posed on her like that. 2,300 value on him. My healer didn't get much value. Griffin Legions didn't get much value, neither did the Wing Lancers. Heart of Winter is 1,800. Armored Kossars actually traded okay, considering they were royally outclassed. Dervishes did well, considering I just needed them to chase stuff. Kossars did fine. Valkia did meh. Knights of Burns Throne did great. Minotaurs 3,800 and 1,200. That's 5,000 value out of Minotaurs, baby. Let's go. Chaos Warriors did very well for themselves. Marauders of Khorne did fine, and Dogs did okay. See you around. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.